Blue eyes. Blue eyes are a definitive marker of European ancestry and have existed on the continent for millennia. Genetic analysis of Cheddar Man, a hunter-gatherer from 10,000 years ago in ancient England, reveals that he likely possessed blue or blue-green eyes. This trait is driven by specific mutations in the HERC2 and OCA2 genes, which significantly lower the production of melanin. Contrary to appearances, there is no blue pigment in the human eye. Instead, the blue color is a visual effect caused by a low concentration of melanin, which allows light to scatter within the iris. This optical phenomenon is similar to the way the atmosphere scatters sunlight to make the sky appear blue. Blue eyes are the second most frequent eye color globally, appearing in roughly 8% to 10% of the population. They are most prevalent in northern and northeastern Europe, particularly in Finland, Scandinavia, and the Baltic states. This distribution may be linked to the dark, low-light environments of these regions. Lighter eyes are more sensitive to light, and research from a 2024 paper suggests blue eyes may provide a vision advantage in low-light conditions compared to brown eyes. Historically, this would have benefited individuals hunting in dim environments. Outside of Europe, blue eyes are found in the Americas due to admixture, the mixing of populations through migration. In North America, the frequency is between 15% and 30%, while in Latin America, it ranges from 1% to 10%. This spread is largely the legacy of European empires, including the British, Spanish, and Dutch, who introduced these genes globally during colonization. Hazel eyes. This trait is most common in populations where individuals with blue and brown-eyed ancestry have intermingled. Consequently, hazel eyes are frequently seen in people of Spanish, Middle Eastern, North African, and Brazilian descent. In Spain, studies have shown that over 55% of certain groups possess hazel green eyes. In the United States, roughly 18% of the population has hazel eyes. Hazel eyes, named for their resemblance to the shell of a hazelnut, are found in approximately 5% of people worldwide. This eye color is characterized by a mosaic of shifting colors, often appearing more green or brown depending on the lighting. Biologically, hazel eyes contain a moderate amount of melanin, more than blue eyes but less than brown. They also typically feature a yellow-toned pigment called lipochrome. The interaction between this pigment and the scattering of light, a process known as Rayleigh scattering, creates the multicolored effect. Brown eyes. Brown is the ancestral eye color of the human species. Historically, every human being possessed brown eyes until genetic mutations introduced variation. This trait is caused by an abundance of melanin in the iris, which serves a vital biological function, shielding the internal structures of the eye from intense ultraviolet UV radiation. Because of this protective advantage, brown eyes remain the most prevalent worldwide, accounting for approximately 70% to 80% of the global population. From an ancestral perspective, brown eyes are most dominant in regions near the equator, where sunlight is most intense. In sub-Saharan Africa and East Asia, the prevalence of brown eyes exceeds 99%. While some people describe their eyes as black, this is a biological misnomer. These are actually extremely dark shades of brown that only reveal their true reddish or chocolate tones under intense, direct light. In North Africa, there is slightly more ancestral variability, with brown eye frequency dropping to between 90% and 95%. This shift is due to the presence of other colors like hazel or gray within specific groups, such as the Berber populations. Europe displays the highest level of variability for this trait. In southern European countries like Spain, Italy, and Greece, brown eyes occur in 70% to 90% of the population. This is significantly higher than in northern Europe, where the frequency drops to 20% or 30%. This disparity is attributed to both the local climate and historical admixture, the mixing of different ancestral groups, particularly through southern Europe's extensive historical contact with North African lineages. Amber eyes. Amber eyes are distinguished by a solid, uniform golden yellow or copper tone, often described as a honey or russet color. Unlike hazel eyes, amber eyes do not contain flecks of green or brown. They are a consistent, singular shade. This rare color is caused by a high concentration of the yellow pigment lipochrome combined with low to moderate levels of melanin. While amber eyes are common in the animal kingdom, found in wolves, domestic cats, and birds of prey like owls and eagles, they are quite rare in humans, occurring in only about 5% of the world's population. The highest concentrations of people with amber eyes are found in southern Europe, particularly Spain. They are also present at elevated levels in the Middle East, the Caucasus region, and North Africa. Because they can sometimes be misidentified as hazel or light brown, their exact global distribution is not as precisely documented as other colors. Green eyes. Ancestrally, green eyes are most common in populations with Celtic or Germanic roots. The highest concentrations are found in northern and central Europe, specifically in Ireland, Scotland, and Iceland. Research indicates a significant sex-linked disparity in this trait. Women are statistically more likely to have green eyes than men. This is hypothesized to be related to hormonal differences, as some studies suggest that estrogen levels may influence the expression of genes responsible for pigment distribution in the iris during development. Historically, the emergence of green eyes is linked to the Bronze Age, during which migrations and the mixing of blue-eyed and brown-eyed lineages in Eurasia led to this unique phenotypic expression. Green is among the rarest eye colors, occurring in only 2% of the global population. This hue is not the result of a green pigment because no such pigment exists in the human eye. Instead, it is a complex optical phenomenon occurring in the iris stroma. The stroma is the thick, fibrous layer of the iris. In green eyes, the stroma contains a very low concentration of melanin and a moderate amount of a yellowish pigment called lipochrome. When light enters the eye, the shorter blue wavelengths are scattered by the stroma through Rayleigh scattering. This scattered blue light then mixes with the yellow lipochrome, producing the visual perception of green. Gray eyes. Gray is potentially the rarest eye color worldwide, frequently estimated to be present in less than 2% of the population. While gray eyes are often confused with blue eyes, they are biologically and optically distinct. Like blue eyes, gray eyes have almost no melanin. However, the gray appearance is caused by a unique structural composition of the stroma. Scientific analysis suggests that gray irises have a significantly higher density of collagen deposits. These large collagen fibers cause a different type of light scattering known as mi-scattering. Unlike Rayleigh scattering, which favors shorter blue wavelengths, mi-scattering scatters all wavelengths of light more equally. This results in a neutral, silvery, or gray tone rather than a blue one. The ancestral distribution of gray eyes is centered in northern and eastern Europe. They are particularly prevalent in the Baltic states, such as Estonia and Latvia, as well as across Scandinavia and northwestern Russia. This trait is closely associated with historical Viking migrations, which facilitated the spread of these specific genetic markers across the European continent. Interestingly, gray eyes appear in isolated pockets outside of Europe due to ancient gene flow. The Shawya people, a Berber group in the Ours Mountains of Algeria, display a notably high frequency of gray and gray-blue eyes. Similarly, this trait is found among specific populations in the Hindu Kush and Himalayan regions, such as the Pashtun and Kalash people of Afghanistan and Pakistan. This presence is a genetic legacy of the migration of Eurasian steppe nomads into the South Asian subcontinent thousands of years ago. Under close magnification, gray irises often reveal small flecks of yellow or brown pigment, which further distinguishes them from the more uniform blue iris. We would love to know in the comments your ancestry and eye color.